704-pound woman goes to weight loss surgery after finding maggots in the folds of her skin. Good evening. I'm John Lasota. It is February 21st, 2018, and you're in the garage. With me tonight, Walt Campos. Say hello, Walt.
What's going on, John?
Well, what's going on is Lisa Fleming is leaving her bed for the first time in 49 years. That's horrible.
Horrible.
She's leaving her bed for the first time in 49 years. It's the same bed her mom died in due to obesity. That's horrible.
That is really horrible.
So this poor fucking bed.
Why didn't they just fucking burn the bed and get a new bed?
Like it's like Gilbert Grape. How's Mama Gilbert? Fat. They had to burn the whole house down when she died in the house in the movie. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Dear Lord.
Lord. It took 7 paramedics to get this woman out.
Oh my God.
So I mean, like she weighs 700. I mean, how can you lay in bed for 49 years and not like die?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it? Aren't you supposed to isn't blood supposed to circulate like constantly in order?
Yeah, right.
You're supposed to kind of you got to kind of plant your feet every once in a while.
I mean,
for the blood to circulate, you got to move your legs. Otherwise, I mean, think of all the paraplegics that die because they don't get the exercise.
Right. The blood doesn't flow right.
The blood doesn't flow right. So, and maybe they have 10 years max.
Yeah, I used to joke around.
This woman had 49 years.
I used to joke around, but my college, when I went to Oklahoma State, right? I went to Oklahoma State for a year before I got tossed. And my roommate, I had this roommate, and we used to call him Fatty. Well, we used to call him a lot of things. But this fucker was fucking huge. I mean, like the first time I saw him, he steps off the elevator, and he had a big stain on the front of his pants, like a shit stain, but it was in the front of his pants. And this dude was this fucker. He had zits on his forearms the size of quarters. It was disgusting, and he would pop them. It was fucking horrible. Yeah.
Wow.
So this fucker, he didn't leave the bed for 2 weeks once. And when he finally got up, it smelled like cheese. Like we had to use surgical gloves, and we didn't even clean the mattress. We just took the mattress and threw it down a stairwell. And got it and let somebody else deal with it. And got a new mattress and put it on his bed. Yeah, it was fucked up.
Now multiply that by 49 years, and you got this one.
Yeah, that was for 2 weeks. 49 years.
Oh my God, dear Lord.
Yeah, that's horrible, man. And the same bed that her mother died in from obesity.
Wow.
I tell you what, that's the strongest bed in the world. I don't know who made that mattress, but that's quality.
It took a licking.
Oh, I don't know if you would lick that.
Somebody had to have licked it.
I mean, there's definitely this bed sores, man. Like
oh my gosh,
it's the size of a quarter. Bed sores. How the fuck do you get a zit the size of a quarter? Like whiteheads.
Oh my gosh, this lady is literally. She may not be a quadriplegic technically, but she's a quadriplegic because of due to her weight.
Yeah, they seven men had to get her out of the bed, and they had to reinforce the rams.
Jesus,
704 fucking pounds. Remember Walter Hudson? Walter Hudson, they buried him in a Toyota.
He weighed like 1,200 pounds. Yeah.
He lost like 600 pounds and still weighed 800.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. That's just crazy. I mean, I had to hand it to the guy. At least he worked it off. At least he did something.
Well, yeah. I mean, But that's like I mean, it's crazy. Imagine feeling like you're 800 pounds. Oh God, I feel so thin.
Oh dear Lord, my gosh.
There should be reminders of people like that, though. I mean,
yeah,
genetics. I'm sure to be that fat, there does have to be a genetic component. That's not just from eating. I mean, you eat a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, it has to be a genetic component mixed with not being conscious of what not only not being conscious of what you eat, but not being conscious while you eat, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean,
so you're just stuffing your face and you're not really thinking about what you're doing.
If you haven't gotten out of bed in 49 years, I don't think it matters what you're eating at that point.
Yeah.
I think just fucking eating is anything is going to make you fat because you know what is your metabolism? What must that slow down to?
Oh, God only knows. But you know what I mean? It's like kind of like eating is breathing to a person like that. At that point, it's like taking a breath while you're putting something in your mouth, and it's the same thing. You wouldn't know what to do. Yeah. So.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm terrified of them taking me out of here." She's hungry. She probably did just lay there and eat and eat.
Yeah,
and imagine that laying there. It's like fucking.
This poor lady. This is it's bad habits. It's bad habits. It's a bad mental state.
There's a skit in Monty Python and what the fuck movie was that? That's The Meaning of Life. In Monty Python, The Meaning of Life, this big fat guy, and they just keep feeding him until he explodes.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. For 49 years, you're just laying there and eating and eating and eating. You get up once, and you're starving from getting up once. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's all
right.
How do you come back from that?
Well, this definitely. You burn the house down with somebody fucking with everybody in it. Horrible. How's Mama Gilbert fat? That's fucking horrible. So, do you like this one? Fake camel toe underwear is the latest fashion trend.
I couldn't see how.
So yeah, I mean that's what everybody's saying. How's that true? But I guess it is. I mean, women are walking around with fake camel toe underwear. It's like men showing like when a dude has a big cock and he wears the pants a little tight so everybody knows he's got a big cock, like his knees and shit. It's the same thing. It's like they're saying, "Hey, look at my fat pussy. Look at this fat pussy. Yeah, you want to pet it?" That's what it's saying. That's the message it's sending, according to the article, anyway.
Oh God, that's. I remember this one day. I was teaching guitar, okay, to a student, and I spoke to the mother afterwards, and
the mother had camel toe.
I don't know how this came about, but I guess maybe they were going away on vacation or something. I don't remember what it was, but this was years ago. So she's talking about going skiing, and I said, "Oh, there's some great ski resorts and this and that," and I said, there's Wyndham. I don't know if you know how many of these places but like around here in New York, there's Wyndham. There's just a couple different places, in the Catskills and the whole thing. And then I said, I meant to say Camelback, but I ended up saying camel toe. I said, so there's Wyndham, there's the Catskills, there's camel toe, and then I went and I said, I mean Camelback. Camel toe is something completely different, and I corrected myself. So the whole time,
like it's making it worse because you're calling attention. Like she may have let it go, but you're calling attention. No, camel toe means something else.
Yeah. Like so at this point, I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to be like, oh my God, I really fucked up just now, and so I'm trying to sneak out of that conversation. So I got into something else. Did
she give you a sly smile and a wink?
Yeah, basically, because like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm talking about this other thing now, a completely different topic, and in my head I'm like, I can't believe I screwed up, and I'm starting to smile, and she kind of sensed that I'm smiling and why I'm smiling, and so she's smiling, and then by the end of it, we're both kind of cracking up.
So she's like, "Oh, so you like the camel toe?" And then she pulls up her shirt. She's got a front wedgie.
It was so crazy, but it was like, it was awkward, but at the same time, by laughing, she was trying to let me off the hook, kind of like telling me like it's not as bad as you think it was. And then I got the hell out of there as soon as I could. And then when I left to get it, and as I'm walking to get my car, I'm dying laughing. I couldn't stop laughing because it was just so awkward. But
I don't have a camel toe story. I don't know if that makes me odd or not.
You have to have a camel toe story. Right. I mean, come on.
Does everyone have a camel toe story but me? Am I the only one?
And for God's sakes, we went to school together. Some camel toe story had to have come up.
Right? Like, I don't know, but apparently not. I'm wondering, does that make me a freak?
In New York, yes. In Florida, I don't know.
This guy, fucking John, he doesn't. But Florida, who knows what kind of toes they're fucking talking about down here.
You guys
Fucked
have
up, man.
alligators and sewers. Come on.
Yeah, every kind of fucked up thing. It happened in Florida. I don't want to know about the camel toe in Florida, man. That's probably where the fashion trend comes from.
Right.
So, a Connecticut woman was caught defecating in a cul-de-sac 3 times.
Jesus Christ.
Holly Malone, 43. She was stopped for a different traffic. She got stopped for something else. So it's like a serial killer. They stop serial shitters the same way they stop serial killers with a fucking broken tail light. So they found her. So they stopped her, and she matched up with the video of the car that kept stopping and shitting in this cul-de-sac. So like I mean, a cul-de-sac though. That's like you got to go in there and go around.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like you got to actively go in there. She told them that she couldn't make it home in time. But like that's like what you're going in circles there. Like you have to pull in and you have to go around the fucking tree or bush, whatever the fuck they have in the middle there.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't get it. She was charged with breach of peace and creating a hazardous condition. So that's the charge. In case you're ever wondering what the charge for shitting in public is breach of peace and creating a hazardous condition.
How is it a hazardous condition? Is it flying? Is it like any like?
I guess
like a snowstorm. It's like a shitstorm.
How does I guess it depends on the disease. How does the disease spread from human shit? I mean, like if you step on it and like.
And you carry it on your shoe, and then you go to the next place, and then you kind of spread it somehow on the floor.
Is that one of like a contact fucking disease, or is it like an airborne virus? You know, that's just shitting. If you smell someone shit, you're gonna fucking catch something in your nose, and that's done.
That's an interesting question. I don't know. Like, I do know somebody who could actually answer that question.
It's weird that you know somebody that can answer the question of how do you get diseases from human shit.
Exactly. I know a scientist who's actually
that's his specialty.
That's not his specialty, but he knows all about that. And what was the movie you mentioned? Contact?
No. I'm talking. I was just talking the human contact.
You know the one I was you know the movie I'm thinking of, Contagion. He was one of the consultants for Contagion.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. How does that spread? Yeah. How does it spread from human shit?
I have no idea.
Don't you have to eat it?
I don't know if you have to eat it. Maybe you could just touch it and go, oh shit, and then try, and maybe it gets into your nails.
Oh yeah, under your fingernail. I
honestly, and then all of a sudden, like this. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. I don't even pretend to know, but that is disgusting. But I do know somebody who would know, and I will get back to you. If you click on this link,
now they have a now they have a
link for the answer. No, anyway,
now they have a sign on the cul-de-sac that says no human fouling. Exactly. I like we're collecting I like this. I like the idea. This is a great T-shirt. Breach of peace. The same thing. No human fouling. The same person taking a shit with no human fouling. You still have that same person taking a shit. Breach of peace. I mean, it means so many things. I mean, you're not being very peaceful in the neighborhood if you're shitting on somebody's lawn. That's not a very right. That is not peaceful. That is not Gandhi. Gandhi will not shit on somebody's lawn.
Although it is a peaceful as shit.
but see but that's it. Breach of peace. You're breaking the peace of shit. You're breaching it. You're breaching the asshole with a piece of shit.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree.
It's that deep, man. That's a deep shirt.
Yeah, man. I concur.
What a horror. It's weird how there's a reoccurring themes to this show. Although, I mean, there's now this is not the first time we've talked about people fucking shitting in public. It's like the third time we've talked about that. Third separate, isn't it?
Only the third?
Yeah.
We're slipping.
Well, this is just as it comes up. It just only comes up as people get arrested for shitting in public. This is a weird one. What the Cluck? Almost all 900 of the KFCs in the United Kingdom ran out of chicken. They had to close. Almost 900 of them had to close. Almost every you could probably fried chicken in the UK had to close because they ran out of chickens.
What do they import them from somewhere?
Apparently, well, they have deliveries, but they had some new German distributing company. New German distributing company couldn't deliver the chicken, so that's a problem. I don't know, like if they ran out of all the KFCs in America ran out of chicken, they'd be fucking riots.
It's Merkel's fault, anyway.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah. But
they can't get the chicken on time.
Yeah, what's going on with that? But I didn't know that. I didn't know they get it from Germany. But
well, I don't know. We don't get ours from Germany, although chicken farms are disgusting. Like if people you would never eat chicken if you know how like the conditions that these fuckers are living in.
I can only imagine. I can and what they do to them is probably something you don't want to see.
To the chickens, it's a lot worse than one person shitting in their cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Oh no,
it's
absolutely.
Thousands of chickens shitting all over the floor. You're walking in like you all just walk around and eating at the same fucking piles that you're shitting in.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a fucking. That had to be like the ships were from the, coming over to America, the immigrant ships.
Have you ever heard of chicken shit bingo?
No,
dude, it is. I have never heard. I hadn't heard of this until about 2 weeks ago, and now I think it's the most hysterical fucking thing ever.
What the fuck is this?
In Texas, there is something. Yeah, exactly. There is something called chicken shit bingo. I can't remember if it's in Austin. It might be in Austin. But you play bingo, and instead of somebody calling out the number, there are literally chickens. They bring out a chicken. They put the chicken in this like cage, and there's like a bingo chart right there. So the chicken takes a shit, and whatever number the chicken shits on. That's the number. So they call out the number. Dude, you gotta look this up. Everybody in YouTube world right now, go look up chicken shit bingo, and you're gonna die laughing.
Holy fuck!
So that's what they do. But the greatest thing ever is like there's in this bar where it takes place. there's like rock and roll playing. There's like bands playing. There's like it's a bar, and you have to wait for the chicken to shit. So it could be like 10 or 20 minutes before a number gets called. So in the meantime, people are rocking, people are drinking, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, the chicken shit, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, what's the number? And then they call out the number, and then they go on, and then and more music, more booze, and then the chicken shits again.
If the chicken shit out of the number, how do they read the number?
Well, I actually asked that. What happens if a chicken kind of shits in between like two spots?
Rules. Right.
Yeah. So you have to, at that point, you have to kind of, you have to kind of
more shit on it.
Which has more shit on it. That's the answer.
I mean,
if it's a little more to the left, it's one number. If it's so
somewhere in there, this requires a finger.
You gotta get the magnifying glass or something.
Oh god!
But there's a science to it.
How do you? Is it scientific? Do you get a ruler in there to see like okay, 3/8 on one side?
I don't know if they go that far, but they do bring somebody out to judge, and they have to judge where the shit lands and everything. Yeah, so
fucking crazy, man. That's fucking hysterical.
And dude, they make tons of money. They make tons of money, and all you need is a bunch of fucking chickens, and all they have to do is shit. And so they feed the chicken so that way it'll shit. So it's like running around in the thing or walking around the thing, just eating stuff. And then eventually it takes a shit. So.
Oh man. So Yeah, I mean, I had a couple more on here, but you know, it's weird how the show goes, and you laugh at a couple of things, and the things you had on there just aren't, you know, relevant anymore, so you just don't read them. Things like, yeah, okay, a guy farts on a plane, they had to land the plane because the guy farted and it stunk.
Yeah, hey,
You know,
that's
there's
some
one
potent stuff.
a guy had a 30-pound bulge removed from his leg in India. He got bit by a bug and he got elephantitis.
Poor guy.
It's you remember that video that I had on there for a long it's for a long time. I had that video of the guy who was sitting on his own nutsack.
Yes, that
Right?
disgusting
And
shit.
it was his intestines and his nuts or some shit like that, or you know, and they would have to lift him up by his fucking thing, you know, and he would sit on his nuts and he would pound the tortilla fucking flour on his nuts.
Yeah,
Like this dude's
exactly.
making fucking furniture out his nuts. He's fucking hammering fucking wood.
You know what? You know what I remember about that video? It's not even the video itself that I remember. Because I could barely watch that because it was so disgusting.
It's the music.
But the music, but also when it was shown to me, when I was hanging out with you, and our friend Liz and Liz's sister, and all I remember is hearing Liz's sister going, "Wait for the lift," because she had seen it before. she had seen the video before me. She goes, "Just wait for the lift." And that's something. And then once she said that, and that guy lifted up his balls, I was like, "That's it. I can't watch anymore. This is."
I actually remember that. Yeah,
You know,
wait for the lift.
yeah, wait for the lift. Yeah. So that's what I remember about that video is her saying that.
Shit, that was a long time ago. That was like fucking
About 7 years ago. Yeah.
yeah. That was a while ago. Fuck.
Long time ago.
Shit moves quickly. Like I mean, the other show, our last show was a long time ago. That was like 2009 or something like that.
2010. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Time flies. Yeah. So like, another thing too is these, you know, bedridden fat fuckers getting out of bed for the first time. See, there always seems to be a flow to how it all works. It all happens at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
That's why I think the like horoscopes work, because you're born at the same time. There's a certain amount of energy in the air. Some days you wake up, you go into work, and everybody's fucking tired for some reason. There's no reason, but everybody's fucking tired. You know, it's a certain, you know,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
There's a certain energy in the air. You know, sometimes fucking all kinds of fat people just get out of bed for the first time in years.
Well, you know, everybody tends to have a case of the Mondays, right? You know, you have a good weekend, and then all of a sudden you got to go to work, and then everybody's saying the same shit on a Monday. They're saying, "God damn it, I don't want to be here."
You know, when
so
I was,
that's the energy. You know,
I was in that place before, you know, for that medical facility. And I don't know what they gave this guy. This guy came running out, right? He's like, "Oh, yeah, I feel great. I'm going to go driving now. I haven't walked in 20 years." So I don't know what the fuck they were giving him, but the fucking dude got up and ran out of bed and started to go driving for the first time in 20 years. So it must have been good.
Yeah, no, hey, you know.
That cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh my God. What was his name? What was the guy that said that all the time?
That was Rick James.
Rick James.
That was from Chappelle.
From Chappelle, right? Exactly. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, that fucking guy.
What a fucking crazy fucking day. Yeah, so I have this tooth that's gonna get ripped out. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's fucking bizarre, man.
And it's a wisdom tooth?
Oh yeah, it's so it's my last wisdom tooth. So in about a week or two, I'm gonna be a dummy.
You're gonna just lose it all.
I have all my wisdom teeth gone. I'm just a dummy. I won't be smart anymore.
Oh man, I can't. That happened to me a long time ago in my 20s. I had one year I got one taken out, and then another year I got 3 of them taken out.
Yeah,
so
I should have gotten
crazy.
I should have gotten this one taken out because I had a couple of years ago, like 2-3 years ago, I got 2 taken out on one side. The other one I had taken out a long time ago, but I had 2 taken out on one side. I should have got the 3rd one taken out, but there was some reason why the fucking guy didn't do it. And I don't know what it was. It probably wasn't ready to come out. It probably was just like impacted, still wasn't ready to come out yet. And now it's out. And it's all its glory. It feels
Yeah,
like
yeah,
getting the fucking eyeball with an ice pick through your fucking face.
yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's a terrible
Sometimes
pain.
I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
pretty high threshold for pain. Like you would never know it. You would never know that it like from me walking around because whatever. I don't give a shit. I eat whatever. I just have a headache, once in a while.
Right, right.
But that fucker's got to come out, man. It
Yeah,
fucks
yeah,
with me.
yeah. It does. It kind of skews me up because what I remember about it was when they're pulling it out, you can kind of feel a little bit of the tooth
Yeah,
kind
ripping.
of ripping from the gums and the whole, so
I
that's what
always
I
feel,
remember about
you know
it.
what I feel? I feel the pliers. Like this is
Yeah.
like you talk about fucking medical advances and everything. Dentistry is still savages. They're savages. They rip your they rip your bones out with fucking pliers. Still, that's what they do. They fucking numb it up so you don't feel nothing, and they grab a pair of
Right,
pliers
right.
and they rip your shit out.
Right. Yeah.
It's like fucking Tom Hanks and fucking they might as well have an ice take in a rock.
Is that? Do you remember? Is that from Splash?
No, that's Castaway.
Oh,
I'm
Castaway.
sorry,
Okay.
Wilson.
Okay. I was thinking of Splash when he goes into the dentist office and Eugene Levy's in there, and then like they go into a struggle, they get into a fight, and then Eugene Levy, I think he hits himself in the leg with the anesthesia, and then Tom Hanks is dragging him out, and his leg is kind of dragging behind.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's what I thought
that
you
was
were
on
referring to.
recently. I watched that recently.
Yeah. It's
Should
I mean
yeah.
it's a little dated, but like the
you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be able to make that story anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's so sexist,
Daryl
you wouldn't be able
Hannah.
to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Daryl Hannah is so worth it.
She's hot in that movie.
Oh my god,
like
she's incredible.
I was never really on the Daryl Hannah train. I never really was.
Mhm.
I for a long time I was like, why is everybody so into her? But that movie, she's fucking hot in that movie.
She's incredible in that movie, and she's got she's like a sweet girl in that.
Yeah.
So she's got that sweet kind of beauty, but at the same time, got the hot beauty. So she's kind of like a little of both. But
pretty good stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
So
the X made a good deal the other day. Did you see that?
It was like a 3-way deal, right? Was it?
Yeah. They traded a couple prospects, but that the one kid that they like, but they don't think he can play defense. They traded him for a third baseman who's 25, and they think he's going to be actually pretty good.
Right.
They think a lot like Didi was, like Gregorius was, that he just needed some more time.
Right. Well, yeah, Didi like really blossomed last year.
He's the best player on the team.
Yeah, he's definitely the best all-around player. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he turned into a beast in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Like right from that if you remember that 3-run home run off of against Minnesota in that first inning.
Yeah.
They were down 3-0. He got them right back in it. So I mean, he turned into a beast in the playoffs.
I'm looking forward to the season. It should be a good one.
It should be good. I mean, they got a great offense. They still got to pitch. Their bullpen's great. So
but they still, by getting this kid, is only making like $600,000, which means they're going to have
he'll be around for a little while.
Well, he's definitely he's 25. He's not eligible for arbitration for like 2 years, so he's making like the minimum. So he's making like $600,000. But then they're gonna have like $12 million to go throw on a pitcher.
Yeah. It's looking good. It's looking good.
Did you see Black Panther yet?
No. Was it any good?
Well, I'm getting I'm told it's like all the other ones. It's like the Thor movie or anything else. But fuck, man, you hear people talking about it. It's like they're going to watch the goddamn Super Bowl.
Yeah, like I'm trying not to listen because I don't like I'm really not liking like superhero movies these days because it seems like it's all the same shit. It's like a lot of like the same kind of storylines and plot lines.
Cheesier and cheesier too.
They're getting cheesier, yeah.
Like Captain America: Civil War was kind of fucking gay,
right.
And I say that knowing that I'm going to have backlash on that. No, but it was like like fucking Tony Stark is the whiniest fucking dude, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you dropped a whole city on my son, you son of a bitch. Well, how many millions of people did you save? You saved the world. And you're gonna cry, you know what I mean?
Right, right, exactly.
Oh
You know
no,
what?
kill people. We have to
You know
turn
what?
ourselves in.
You know what I'm
Get the
having.
fuck out of here.
You know what I'm having problems with
Huh.
is the fact that like there's no real like moral character to any of these heroes. They're all flawed characters. They're all and it's done in a way where like they're trying to make the character more interesting by giving them these flaws, right?
Well,
But in
Captain
the end,
America is
there's
pretty
nothing
much
that
the guy, though.
I think he might be the only one though.
Well,
I think
and that's but the thing is, though, that's what Marvel is, though.
yeah.
Marvel Comics is built because like you got to remember, like Spider-Man is the face of Marvel Comics. Why
Mhm.
Spider-Man the face of Marvel Comics? Because he became popular because the kids that were reading the book were the same age as the character that was there,
Right,
and
right,
he was going through the same things that they were going
right,
through because they were
right,
flawed. So the characters are flawed, and that's the
right,
thing is that Marvel. It was like Fantastic Four was the next big one for Marvel Comics after that, and
yeah,
what
yeah,
made
yeah,
Fantastic Four big was the family dynamic. They had these
right,
four
right,
people, and they're solving fucking all these crazy fucking
hmm
space fucking mysteries and
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know and like stopping evil galactic empires from taking
yeah,
over,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they're
I
fighting like a family, and
right,
they're
right.
fighting the same way everybody else did their family, the Reedus
No,
family fights.
absolutely. I when I say flawed character, I don't mean Spider-Man. I don't mean the Fantastic Four. To me, they are the ones with the moral character. They're the ones who aren't flawed. By flawed, I'm talking about the modern day Tony Stark. Okay, I'm talking about the whatever this Black Panther thing is all about. I only heard about it, and I'm
He's a
already
good
not
character,
believing
but
the hype.
a very minor character, like a real,
Yeah,
not even like
right,
when Iron Man came out, they said that Marvel pulls out the B team, talking about Iron Man. If
yeah, yeah,
If Iron Man is the B team, then Black Panther is like the F team because he's like
yeah.
no, but it's true though.
Right,
He's like it's not even on the same fucking level, not even close.
right, 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 right.
And like the fact that they're making such a big deal about I mean, don't get me wrong, cool character. It's I think it's it can't be more than hype because and for
Yeah.
certain specific reasons, because like I said, how much are you going to do out of a character that's obscure?
Mhm.
Most people, I can guarantee you, all these people going to see this movie 5 years ago, they didn't know who the fuck this character was.
Right, right. I think it's not what people think it is. You know what I mean? Like I think they're making it make they're making more out of it than it really is. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're giving it this social agenda that really isn't really exactly there. But
Interesting though, thing that you're
you
talking
know,
about, the point that you're making, at least, how what I was picking up anyway. We talk about the moral character
yeah, yeah,
because I mean we don't watch it for the moral character. That's not why we think that we're watching it. Yet, like you listen to a lot of the things that like Peterson would say about why the stories that we sustain us that stay around forever
hmm
are the ones that whether they're did it or not. Star Wars was a huge thing.
yeah,
Why was Star Wars such a huge phenomenon? Lucas carefully crafted that to have certain mythical elements
absolutely, yeah,
specifically to tell the hero's journey story.
yeah, yeah,
If it's telling, if the story that you're telling has an archetype, if it has an archetype and it's telling one of the classical meta stories,
hmm
you know,
yeah,
like one of the stories that really that explains to you what life is or what you're supposed to be doing in it.
exactly, exactly,
Those are the ones that ring true and stay consistent forever that people still watch them.
exactly,
You know,
absolutely.
it's weird because like I forget what it was. Something we did on one of the shows made me think this recently, and I stayed up all night. But all you have, right? You're watching these movies, right? I'm watching these movies, the movies that I fucking loved. I can't even remember them now. Movies that nobody ever heard of that I saw when I
Right.
was a kid and they thought that was the greatest thing, and I watch them over and over again. I don't even remember the names anymore.
Yeah.
So you talk about the longevity of your life and like worrying about the fucking your mistakes and all this other how people see you, all these other things. At most, you have is 150 years. At most, you have is 150 years because even if you live to 100, you have kids, You have kids. You know, if you had kids at 40, right? You're 80 when they're 40. When you're 100, their kids are 20 if they had them at the same age you did, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe their kids, well, they wouldn't, probably wouldn't, maybe at most, but their kids wouldn't. If they had a kid, they'd be like 18. Even if they were 16, their kid would be 4 and they wouldn't remember you.
Right.
So basically, you have your grandkids, and maybe, depending on the ages, maybe your great grandkids. So just say that, for instance, it's your great grandkid that remembers you, and your great grandkid was 6 when you were 100.
Right.
Right. That's 90. That's 100. That's, that kid lives to 100. That's 200 years that anyone, it's 195 years that anyone has a chance of remember who the fuck you were.
Right.
If you made famous movies and they were out there, they're in an archive somewhere, but fucking anybody who ever watched them, And so it's like the same thing, like you and I are watching the Oscars and they bring up some fucking obscure movie from the 30s. That in the 30s, everybody knew what it was. But now, over 80 years of fucking just, 80 years, nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. Nobody's ever heard of that shit.
Right.
They made that movie 6 more times in the remakes, and nobody ever knew it was a remake because they never heard of you.
Because they never heard the original. Yeah. No, absolutely.
So like the most you have is maybe 200 years, and that's it. Then you're erased from, unless you do something crazy, But then you're erased from memory. The Beatles, in 200 years, maybe people will remember them.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will do many a cover, and no one will know that it was the Beatles.
Nobody knows that it's the Beatles.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
At that point, it'll be primitive.
Yeah. And also, there's plenty of melodies that are played now that came from, classical melodies. And
I bet.
That people don't even realize that, that it's from, whatever it's from, and they think it's Carlos Santana or something, so it's true. Yeah.
I mean, on one end, you think about that, and you're like, all right, well, what's the point? It's going to be like everything is going to be erased. All the things are going to be erased from memory. But on the other hand, like, if that's the case, then what's everybody worried about?
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's 2 ways to look at it. Like, eventually, planet Earth is going to get swallowed by the sun.
Right.
There'll be no trace of anything.
Right.
All
the great historical landmarks will. But the thing is, by the time that happens, all the great historical landmarks will be worn and destroyed and weathered away anyway.
Yeah.
No matter what people do to preserve it, it's not going to be preserved
in some other way. Yeah. Absolutely. So we're just. As they say,
like the sands of the hourglass. Those were the days of our lives.
As the stomach turns, we'll be stardust. We're just stardust,
Pretty much.
Just dust in the wind, right? All of those things.
Oh man, fucking Kansas! That song was on before.
Yeah,
and I was driving, and all I kept thinking was, "You're my boy, Blue."
The Will Ferrell version. There's your point.
Yeah.
How many people and how many kids who grew up watching that movie think of it as the Will Ferrell song, and not that it was by Kansas, which was a huge hit back in the 70s anyway,
Exactly. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever fucking they have their other song, Carry On My Wayward Son.
I love that song. Yeah.
Great song, right? But
great song.
I'm a big fan of the show Supernatural. Supernatural's been on for 12 years. When I hear that song, the first thing I think of is that show. I don't think of Kansas. I don't even think of the song. I think it's a theme song for the show. Even though I listened to that song for years before that fucking show came out.
Is that the theme song for the show?
That's the theme song for. It's a great show. Really well written.
Oh, okay.
It's cheesy seasons and stuff, but fucking really well written. If you're into mythology and shit like that, it's fucking good stuff.
Right.
But when I hear that song, I think about the TV show. It's like, a shitty song, but that song, "I'll Stop the World and Melt with You." You know that song?
Yeah, I know that song.
I hear that song, I think of Burger King.
It was a Burger King. That's right. It was a Burger King commercial.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
like fucking
it's so
20 years
true.
from now, if 20 years from now, if anybody remembers that, it's as the Burger King commercial, not as the song.
It's so true. Everything is a commercial now. What about all the Who songs?
Yeah, right.
It's just CSI now, right? It's a
Well,
CSI theme
I,
songs.
the only thing is I don't know, because they use a bunch of commercials too, but
Yeah.
they didn't do a good job in those commercials in displaying the product, because I remember that they used songs in a lot of the commercials, but I don't remember any of the products from it.
Right.
So they didn't do it. They didn't do the angering the right way.
Right.
You know, Burger
Exactly.
King, they anchored that shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They made you remember that slogan, right?
Yeah.
Have it your way or whatever, so they know their shit. There's a reason why they've been around for a long time.
It only goes to show too that you just you need to steal somebody else's catchy jingle.
Exactly. And they eventually these guys need to get paid, so because they're not making any new music for the most part.
That's
Usually.
one thing. And we're gonna start the Patreon page so that we can get paid. So that I think that anything that anybody donates to go back into the show.
Yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
like to do things eventually, like get a couple of these things, these slogans that we have from the show, and make a couple of T-shirts. And like when people donate a certain amount of money, they get a T-shirt. I'd like to do stuff like that. That'd be nice. Get a few more guests on. Use some money to get a little better production value or something, but get some guests.
Right.
That kind of thing. But that would be good. So
Sounds
we're gonna, we'll all let you all know about Patreon if you get that far to actually thinking we're worthwhile to help out with some shit. And buy my fucking book, goddammit.
He's a great author.
I'm actually thinking about, and I got to talk to Scotty about this, but I'm thinking about not even selling books anymore. Just having a Patreon account. And I mean, I guess I put it up there when I have a bunch of stories or something that I want to put as a collection. Yeah. But I'm thinking about just starting a Patreon account and writing just to fucking put it out there. Hey, people, read this.
Why not?
You could do a monthly membership. I could throw everything that I wrote up there, and okay, $5 for the month. You can read as much as you want for the month. I mean, hell, you can do $1 a month. I just whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure that out.
Absolutely.
But because I mean, you never know when you get somebody that's where they wouldn't necessarily know that you're even doing it with the book, but because you're doing it for free, they're more likely to read your shit. Who knows? And people don't read anymore anyway, so it makes it more difficult. But
I mean, I think they listen to audiobooks or something, if that, But,
which is something I could do too, but that's kind of a pain in the ass. Eventually I'll do it. The thing is that I never used to write. I never wanted to be a writer. It's just something I do well. Mm-hmm. What I liked about it is that I could write something and get a reaction from people, and I could build a connection with somebody else. Like they got a positive reaction, even if it was that's gross. Even if it was that, it's still a positive reaction. But I could get a reaction out of somebody from work something that I did, and that we could share together. Like my favorite part about reading or watching movies, and I love movies, but my favorite part about reading is you read the scenes and they're cool, and then talking about it with other people that that enjoyed it too, and it makes it that much better. It's that connection that it builds from it, and that's why I always wrote. So to build that, to entertain somebody, like we were sitting in school and they were bored. So all right, but okay, well, how is this? That's great. Yeah, okay, then that I did that.
Right.
When you're writing these books and you're not getting the feedback, people are only able to see it if you're and a lot of the stuff that I wrote for the books that I had that in some of those books, I just threw out there. I just wrote it. I wrote to entertain people at work and let everybody at work read it already. So like half my book is that. The first book, the novel, VPI.
Yeah.
A lot of the other stories I wrote and I posted them on Facebook. I have they took them down now, but I'm thinking about doing that again. Just writing and hey people, what do you think about this?
Mm-hmm. You took them down, or who took them down?
I took them down. I took them down. Okay. Yeah, I took them down. Once I published them, I took them down.
Oh, okay.
From the Facebook.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
So,
man.
on that note, I think we're gonna cut out. It's getting a little bit late now. Crazy day today. A lot of shit going on. So, I still got to
Same here.
break this down. So,
Yeah. Good luck.
yeah. Any last words?
Take care of the Kinkos, guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
No human fouling.
No human fouling. Don't break the peace. Yeah. Yeah, man. Just be cool. And see you next week.
All right. See you next week.